Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is a bit more of a different video than you're used to. This is going to be my WrestleMania 37 predictions. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on each match, who I think is going to win and my reasons behind it. So let's get into the big one first. Lashley versus Drew. Now this match on paper, would love it. But I feel like the outcome is so obvious. Drew is winning this without a doubt in my mind. I don't see Lashley retaining. I think they really want to give Drew his big defining moment in front of fans. They couldn't do that last year, so I feel like this is just them wanted to do that, so they put it on Lashley, built him up, and obviously when they saw fans were getting behind him, I feel like that's when they decided to split up the Hurt Business so that it sort of tries to give Lashley, I guess, less momentum and less fans behind him, because I feel like with how many people do like Bobby, and to be honest, I'm a big fan myself, a lot of people do want Bobby to win, so I feel like them doing that was them just basically trying to get less people behind Bobby so Drew can have his big moment. So with this one, I do see Drew beating Lashley. I prefer it, I will be honest, if Lashley did retain. I feel like Drew has had a good reign and he's had a good run, but I feel like he should step away from the title picture for a good couple of months, or potentially go over to SmackDown, feud with Reigns, or whoever wins that match. But I would prefer Lashley to get a longer reign, but I don't see that happening. I think Drew wins this one, and I think it will be a good match, but it will just be Drew getting his moment in front of the crowd and winning this one. Next up, we have Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and Morrison. Now, I like Priest. I wasn't the biggest fan of him at first, but he has grown on me. I love The Miz, but I know how WWE like to get celebrities wins on the big stages. I know how they like to give them basically their spotlight and their moment. And obviously Miz, besides his title win, and is actually winning it, he hasn't been on a hot sort of run. He hasn't been on a massive winning streak. The past year, I'd say his booking has been quite poor. So I do think at this point, it is going to be Bad Bunny, Damian Priest winning and beating The Miz. Gives Bad Bunny his moment. And to be honest with you, as much as I like The Miz and Morrison, I don't think they're going to be hurt too much from this, because their booking has been that poor. A loss doesn't make a difference to them anymore. They are genuinely at that point. They need to be built back up, and I think they can be a great team, great individuals as well. But obviously, their run of form, their win-loss record last year has been atrocious. So I see Bad Bunny, Damian Priest winning this. It'd be good for Priest, obviously his first WrestleMania moment. Obviously, with Bad Bunny. But for me, I'm more interested in Priest, and I think obviously this will be his big moment. Glad to see him get a win. I just wish it was different circumstances. The next match is The New Day versus Omos and AJ Styles, and I'm actually looking forward to this match. Styles, I liked him as of late. I'm a big fan of Styles. I didn't like his run with with the Good Brothers, I will be honest. I thought that run was kind of stale to me. I'll be completely transparent. I thought it did get kind of stale, but I've liked him recently. I think him and Omos will be a good team, and I actually see him winning here. I think they will win the belt. It gives Styles something to do. Omos obviously gets his debut. They present him as a big man, a big force. I think he'll go in there, have some power moves, look quite dominant, and I think him and Styles will get the win. And they'll have a good sort of, I guess, comedy duo over the next couple of weeks, obviously as champs, but I see them winning here. And then obviously New Day can have have another match against them, lose, and then go off and swap brands, or just a lot of these. I feel like the tag division hasn't had much of a focus, so I don't know where New Day can go after this, but I also feel like the build up towards it and how Styles and Omos have been, I see them winning this, but I don't know what's next for the New Day. The tag division is that weak at the minute on both brands. I don't know what would be next from unless it's a title picture, and even then that's not guaranteed for anything. I don't like the SmackDown title picture is horrible at the minute. So who knows? Maybe it's a case Omos Styles win. They have a bit of a shake-up soon, which hopefully they will. And obviously Kofi would go over to SmackDown, freshen up the tag team division over there. Who knows? But Omos and Styles get the win here for me. Next up is Cesaro versus Seth. Big fan of both of these guys. I'm glad to see Cesaro finally getting a bit of a spotlight here. Who knows where this run will lead him. Seth is obviously a top star. I feel like this is a defining moment for Cesaro, and I feel like he gets the nod here. I do feel like he will beat Seth. I feel like his momentum is building, and this is going to be his big win. And I feel like everyone's feeling the same here. I feel like this is his big win. It's his first WrestleMania singles match, I believe, as well, which is a good moment for him. But I think he gets the big win here. I feel like everyone thinks the same in that regard. And I feel like it will be really big and a really good result for him. But he will get the win in this match. Next up, we have the Women's Championship match and hopefully the main event of Night 1. This is going to be a good match. Obviously, Bianca Belair, I'm a huge fan of. Sasha, obviously, quality. I'm a huge fan of Belair. I have been since, obviously, NXT. I think she's a top performer, and I'm glad to see her finally getting a spotlight. I think she does win here. I think they are going to push her as one of the next big stars of the women's division. I feel like, obviously, beyond the 4 horsewomen, I can see in the next couple of years her being potentially that fifth star. The one who's just on the outskirts. Obviously, Alexa is currently preoccupied. Asuka is obviously a mother, and she might start to wind down. I hope she doesn't. I like Asuka, but I feel like Bianca is going to be one of the top stars of the women's division for years to come. And I see this being her defining moment, getting the win over Banks. Banks doesn't need it. Bianca needs this win. I feel like she needs it a lot more. With how much they've built her up recently, she needs this one. And I don't think it hurts Banks at all. And next up, we have Shane versus Braun. This is a weird one for me, because Braun should win. But Shane is Shane. And I can't deny, I'm a big fan of Shane. I feel like over the years he has given some quality matches, and you can't deny he gives his all. But I don't think he should win this match. I feel like it should be Braun, and I think it will be Braun. But this one I was very 50-50 on. I feel like Braun needs this win to beat Shane. He needs to redeem himself after the recent weeks, and I feel like the build-up in recent weeks of obviously Shane getting the upper hand and obviously humiliating Braun has led to this, and I feel like that is why obviously he will win, why Braun will win. But obviously Shane, like with The Miz, I feel like he could find a way to put himself over, but I hope he doesn't. Next up is the Tag Team Turmoil match. I'm not too interested in this one. It has just been thrown together pretty much. I'm not that interested in the tag titles at the minute. Any of the tag titles, to be honest. I feel like the build-up hasn't been great, but with this one, I feel like this one wasn't that hard to predict. I feel like it's between 2 teams. I don't think Dana and Mandy will do anything. I don't feel they were there. Ruby and Liv, while they're incredibly talented, I don't see them doing it. I don't feel any need to. I feel like they've had a bit of a spotlight, but there's no reason. They haven't given them enough motive, I feel like, compared to 2 other teams I'm thinking of. Tamina, obviously, her versus Nia Jax. There is history there. There's a reason behind it, and they could go that route. If it was Tamina with someone else, I think she has a chance, but I just don't see like her and Natalya as a team are going to get the nod. I think it will be Lana and Naomi, because there is that history there with Lana and Nia. It's been a long-term build-up, and I feel like there has to be a payoff somewhere, and I feel like them winning this is going to be them finally getting that opportunity on the big stage. There has to be a payoff. With how long it's been going on for, there has to be. So I believe Naomi and Lana will win this. And next up, we do have the Intercontinental match. And I'm really interested in this feud. Big E has been treated as a big deal recently, and I quite like that. He is a phenomenal talent. Apollo is also doing quite well recently, and I'm glad to see it. With this one, I feel like there's only one way it can go. Yes, I think both of them kind of need a win here, but one more so than the other. They can't have... Apollo cannot lose this. There is no way he can. He has lost twice to Big, I think, in title matches. He lost to him twice. They can't have him then, big stage of all, have him turn, build him up, to then lose a third time. That would just kill his momentum completely. So I feel like he gets the win here. Big E still looks like a threat. He moves on, potentially wins the Money in the Bank. I feel like that could be where they go with him. I'd be happy to see it, and then they spend a year building up to that main event level where he then eventually cashes in on whichever champion he chooses. And I feel like that will be where they go with Big E. But I see Apollo getting a nod in this one. And we've got the big one, the Universal title match. Now, who do I see winning this one? Weirdly as this is, with how he's been booked, the only one I don't see winning this is actually Reigns. Because I feel like they've built up... Bryan has done a fantastic job recently in building himself up. I really do think he has. And I feel like he could be a surprise pick. But I still feel like after everything that's been through, his promo on SmackDown, the one literally just now before, was superb. It was an incredible promo, and I can't speak highly enough of it. Edge's promo, they were all great promos, but Edge's was by far the best for me. I really think it was. I feel like after all the build-up and all the reason behind it, all the motivation, it has to be Edge for me. He has to come out on top here. I feel like he needs this win a lot more than the other two, and then potentially leading outside of this, we could have Edge versus Bryan as like a mini feud leading into the next couple of pay-per-views. Roman can go off and focus on potentially a feud with Jimmy Uso, and obviously do that. But I feel like Edge here gets the nod for me, and he is going to be the victor, and I will love to see it. I'm excited to get one more title run out of him. And the final... Nope, two more matches. One of the next match here, The Fiend versus Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss has done well recently. I feel like some of the stuff is too far-fetched, I will be honest. I've not been a fan of some of the stuff in the build-up to this. But it's got its big payoff now at WrestleMania. Fiend versus Orton. And I don't see any way Orton wins this. I feel like it has to be The Fiend. With how they've made it look, Orton doesn't need to win here at all. He really doesn't. There is no chance he needs to win. I feel like The Fiend needs to win. It will bury him a bit. I know people like to use that term, but I don't feel like The Fiend can afford a loss here. I really don't think he can. I don't know where he'd go from here if he did lose. This is going to be his big WrestleMania moment. He had a big one last year versus John Cena. So a big WrestleMania moment for him. Keep his momentum, build him up, and then who knows where he goes from here, potentially challenging for a title again. I don't feel like he necessarily needs it, to be completely honest, but I feel like that's the only way they'll do it. I don't feel like he needs a title, and he could be a character happily for years without a title, but I see that's potentially the route they may go down. He'll get the win here, potentially then go on feud with Drew, but Orton doesn't need to win here. Fiend gets my nod. And next up we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Now, if any other team, apart from Naomi and Lana, win this, or win the previous match, I would say Shayna and Nia retain. I don't see that. I think Naomi and Lana get the win here. Good feel-good moment for the crowds, or that's the intention behind it. Lana finally gets her big revenge. The payoff they've wanted, and it leads to Nia and Shayna breaking up, which I would love to see, because I do think Shayna is a phenomenal performer. I would love to see her get a good singles run. So that is my hope. We'll see how it actually transpires, but that is my hope. So I see Lana and Naomi winning this one, and hopefully having that big moment. People want Naomi to get a push. I feel like this could be it in the tag division. Gives Lana a bit of a boost as well. But that's how I see that one going. Finally, two more. Next up we have the United States match. Sheamus versus Riddle. who do I see winning this one? I would love to say Sheamus. I really would. Because he kind of, well, I say he needs it. He's been on quite a losing streak, but he's been putting on phenomenal matches. He's been doing some great character work. I feel like he's been on a really hot run. Match results-wise, not, but actual performances, he has been on a really hot run. So I would love to see him do it. I'm not the biggest fan of Riddle, but I do see him retaining. I think he has. I think WWE are very much behind Riddle, and I only see this going one way. I think Riddle will retain, and Sheamus is going to have pretty much a veteran role going forward of just putting people over. I'd love to see him get a one final world title run even, to be completely honest with Sheamus. But I feel like right now he's going to sort of become more of a veteran, just putting over young talent for WWE in the next years to come. So I see Riddle getting the victory here. And next up, we do have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'm kind of disappointed with this one because of Logan Paul. Now, I know people say it will bring spotlight on it, and I agree it potentially will bring new eyes. But why this match? This match has been years in the making. Why couldn't they have him involved with someone else? I would have much preferred that, because this has been years in the making. I don't want it to end by Logan betraying Sami Zayn, which I think he will. I think it will be Logan betraying Sami Zayn, distracting him or something, and then KO wins it. And obviously Sami doesn't look that weak, because obviously it was by distraction or there was cheating involved. But Owens gets his big win. It's a good match, good payoff for these two after years, and I feel like this WrestleMania moment for those two has been overdue. I do think Owens comes out on top. I understand why they brought in Logan. I just wish it was for another match. I really, really do. But I see Owens going over here. Next match is the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I like both of these women, and I wouldn't mind either result, but I feel like the one that makes the most sense is Rhea winning. Her debuting and then debuting on the main roster and losing just wouldn't make sense. Asuka's reign, it's not her fault. I think she's an incredible talent. Her reign hasn't been great. It hasn't. It's been quite boring for me, I will be honest. So having Rhea come in, take that throne off her, cement herself in the women's division as one of the top stars, and beating Asuka. Asuka can then obviously have some mini feuds, hopefully build up another talent, and Rhea can obviously go on to have a dominant run. I'm really hoping Rhea wins this, and I do think she will. I think this is a big moment for her. She gets a WrestleMania moment after obviously last year's loss, when everyone thought she'd win, and it's in front of crowds. And I feel like that will be a good moment for her. And that is it. That is all of my predictions. Let me know in the comments if you agree, or if there's any you think I'm wrong on. Hopefully it'll be a good Mania regardless, and thanks for watching. Cheers.